Hello, everyone, and welcome to Chasing a Murder. And today we have an interesting update on the Lori Vallow case. Just be sure to take a moment to like, subscribe, and share your comments below. Lori Vallow Daybell, also known as the Doomsday Mother that belonged to a zombie cult, was wheeled into the courtroom June 2nd of 2025. She claimed that she was sick. This is after she tried to get the Judge Boreski recused from the case. After that failed for her, when she showed up for court the next round, she told the judge that she felt like she was getting sick. Knowing Lori's history of truthfulness, I'm sure he's thinking to himself, she's up to something. Perhaps she's not really sick, which is going to make things even more difficult, trying to figure out, when she's telling the truth, when she's not telling the truth, what her true intentions are. According to Nate Eaton's article, he said it's around 10:43 a.m. this morning. Sometime during that time, Lori was wheeled into the courtroom in a wheelchair, claiming that she was sick. Judge Bursky, who was recently where Lori asked him to be recused or to ask him to recuse himself, said to Lori, where he told Lori that sometimes things need to proceed when we are not feeling well. At some point, the judge asked Lori what her symptoms are, and she says that she's having nausea, chills, a headache, and just not feeling well. So the judge asked Lori if she would be willing to have one of her advisory counselors finish the voir dire. Now, it seems that Judge Boreski has this, thought that perhaps Lori could be faking, because he said in court, "I'm your trial judge. My instructions are to complete your second trial. Even if this case got delayed into June or July or August, I'd still be your trial judge." So it seems that he is suspecting that she was trying to find a way around him being the judge on the case, which could be the case. You just don't know with Lori Vallow. However, she just had a hearing for a motion where the other judge, I don't know her name, I'm sorry guys, suggested that she could take another route to get Judge Boreski either off the case or at least look into some other options. So is she trying to use something in order to stall so that she can continue her mayhem? We don't know. The judge also told Lori that at this point in the trial, there is not a lot expected from her at this point. He stressed that he did want to keep the trial on track. Well, you got to remember, Lori Vallow was, whining about her speedy trial rights. And here she is trying to delay it and then accuse the judge of being unsympathetic to her illness. So this inconsistency of just trying to win something her way, this is just another example of her, and to put it simply, being a spoiled brat, trying to get things the way she wants them. Even if she's sick, she no longer is interested in that speedy trial. So the inconsistencies continue, and, they just start to make her look more and more unreliable. Eventually, Lori was wheeled out of the courtroom with her face down and her face in her hand. Why in the world is she in a wheelchair? If she has the flu or a virus, that's interesting. Has she seen a doctor? What did the doctor say? And my goodness, what the heck got her so ill that she needs to be in a wheelchair? So I'm very curious how the wheelchair come into the picture for Lori. Now, according to reporters, they said Lori looked considerably different from the way she has in previous days. Nate Eaton wrote that the judge basically told her that her team could do the jury selection without her. That way she could rest up. Around 10:54 a.m. that morning, you have Lori's attorneys just walk into the courtroom and they were seated at the defense table. And then just before that, 10:51 a.m., Brandon Boudreaux and his wife walked into the courtroom with their victim advocate. Also, according to reporters, there was around 10 to 15 people of the public that are in the courtroom that this morning. Now, interestingly, around 10:59 a.m., the judge is back on the bench, and Lori says her counsel is not comfortable choosing a jury. "I'm sorry that I'm sick. I did not plan on getting sick." Lori said that she had been sick only one other time. So we do not hear a long history of Lori having very many medical problems. We did hear at one point when she was in Hawaii, for some reason we don't know about, she was at the urgent care with Chad Daybell. So Lori denying to go forward with the jury selection because she doesn't feel well is going to create several issues. Trina Kay, the prosecutor in the case, says she had already rescheduled witnesses to fly in. And she says she understands the defendant is sick, but needs to know the schedule. Trina says she's unsure about what to do. Maybe wait until Wednesday and see if Lori feels better by then, and, well, stay with the same jury. Trina Kay said that she did have concerns about the fact that Lori Vallow was in a wheelchair now. I'm not sure of the context of this, but the judge says he wants to proceed with somehow Lori's back in the courtroom, and says that she's not capable to perform and wants to get better so that she can represent herself. "I can't control any of this," Lori told judge. Now, Lori's given them a completely hard time, had no remorse for anybody, including her own victims that she's taken from this earth, yet she's wanting them to feel sorry for her. What they did say is there were 50 potential jurors waiting outside the courtroom during that time. The judge says that he wanted to try to salvage the jury in this trial. He said, quote, "I'm sure these jurors are going to be none too happy coming down today again for a dry run," end quote. Trina Kay suggested starting early on the days this week once Lori is better. The judge says that we could start at 10 a.m. on Wednesday. He's running into several problems. One of the problems being that he's using another judge's courtroom for this trial, so he needs to see if the room will be open. By 11:04 a.m. this morning, the judge says he needs to bring the jurors in to tell them something, and he asked Lori if she can sit in a regular chair and move the wheelchair. Lori argues with him, quote, "You are putting a lot of pressure on me to be better by Wednesday," end quote. It's at that point that they say they see Lori start crying. So there you go, guys. You can see that Lori Vallow can cry for herself. Lori's worried that she won't be better by Wednesday. She says, quote, "If I'm not better tomorrow, are you going to drag me in here on Wednesday to bring me here?" End quote. The judge said, quote, "Yes." The answer is yes. "I will probably order you to be here on Wednesday. You will take tomorrow off. I need to confirm how you are feeling," end quote. Lori then tells the judge he's welcome to go to the jail and see how she's doing. And the judge says, quote, "I'll take a pass on that," end quote. So she may be really sick this time, I'm afraid, because they say that Lori was loudly crying in the courtroom. But then again, maybe it could be just a fit that she's throwing. Who knows? So the judge asked Lori and the prosecutor to exit because Lori would not move from her wheelchair. He did this so that he would be able to explain to the jurors without the prosecutor or the defense in the room what was going on. Wow, what a mess. Trina Kay, the prosecutor, and Lori walk out the courtroom. According to the reporter, the judge just shook his head and he is visibly frustrated. The jurors have been escorted in, and then they take their seats. By 11:13 a.m., the judge explains there's no attorneys here. He is quoted saying, "I'm embarrassed to tell you because I've never had this come up in my entire career, Something else has come up now, and we're unable to proceed with the jury selection as planned. The situation is such that we won't be able to resume until Wednesday morning. I hate to ask you guys to do this, and I apologize, end quote. He apologized several times and pleaded with them to return again Wednesday at 10 a.m. Of course, this is going to be tough because you have this jury, they're hearing all this drama, and they need to try not to look up anything about this case. They can't discuss it with anyone, so they can't go home and say, well, wow, you're back. That was quick. So what happened? So it's at that point that court was adjourned at 11:15 a.m. this morning. So right now, I think his main concerns is she malingering? Trying to avoid going to trial, cause some issues, maybe even still find a way to get him off her case. Yes, this is a serious thing to do, to lie about, whether or not you're sick. And there are consequences, but I don't think there's many consequences that can top what she's already facing. I heard of a case in 2013 where a lawyer wasn't prepared for trial and he faked being sick so that he can prepare. You got to remember that Lori is representing herself. Is she ready for trial? She just finished trial for Charles Vallow. And I think Lori's determined that she doesn't want to lose again. We do know that judges and attorneys, they're able to get updates of prisoners in jail, what they're seeing, how they're acting. Knowing that the judge felt pretty confident that maybe there was a chance Lori may not be as sick as she was saying, makes you wonder, what kind of information he received about Lori maybe the night before. And I wonder, can they get information from the officers about the prisoners behind bars? It says that in many cases, in many places, they can report observations about the prisoner's behavior, demeanor, and any incidents that occurred while they were in custody. Because this could help the judge with his decisions, especially sometimes we're not dealing with that now, but like release conditions, bail, etc., and sentencing. So maybe the judge knows a little bit more than we do. It's hard to know. I don't want to say she's lying if I don't have any evidence to say it, but I do suspect that she would do it. She's out of options. There's not much left, and she doesn't want that judge in the courtroom. She is not happy with him, and she is showing it. But it's really interesting how she expects people to give empathy and remorse and feel sorry for her. But where is her empathy for all the pain she's caused a lot of people? It's not just the people that are no longer here. It's their families. It's people that were just involved with her during that time. Lori Vallow Daybell has destroyed a lot of lives, and she continues to do so. Anybody in her presence can expect some kind of mishap. Share your thoughts below, guys. What do you think? Do you think Lori's faking? I want to share this on a video as soon as I can. So comment below now. Share your thoughts. Maybe you don't think she's faking. Maybe you believe that she's sick. Whatever it is, share it below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys, and I'll see you guys soon.